and welcome to healthyhouseplants.com, where we teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. If you'd like to support our show, please use our Amazon affiliate link below. Today we are going to talk about taproots. So what are taproots? And as their name implies, a taproot is typically a long and somewhat thick root that taps deep down into the soil. It's the first root to appear from the seed, and it remains the largest central root of the plant throughout the plant's life. So some examples of taproots include carrots, parsnips, dandelions. That's why they're so hard to get out of the lawn. And also there are a few house plants that do have taproots. And right now I have one of those in front of me here. And this is the cordyline Fruticosa glauca, and I do have a video on growing this beauty. This one does have a taproot, so I thought it'd be really fun to show you its taproot because its taproot is coming out of the bottom of the pot, which is an indication that I need to repot it. So I will be in another video repotting it as well to show you how to repot a plant that has a taproot. So plants in this family, and there are other plants in this family you can grow indoors as well, they have taproots, and the taproots can become very long when they're growing in their native habitats. So I'm going to show you right now here this guy's taproot. So you see here, I'm going to go ahead and get it together here. So you can see and turn it to the side. That right there is a taproot sticking out of the bottom there. So you can see that here. And it is very thick, as you see. And it is it got a little squish sitting at the bottom of the pot, but the plant is still doing okay. These plants are pretty easy to grow, pretty easy indoor growers. I love these plants for that. One of the reasons why I love growing these plants indoors. So you can see that taproot. And so it was probably a little more pointed at one point, but got a little bit smushed in there. So that's an example of a taproot. So if you do have some plants that you are growing and you go to repot them and you think, what's this long thing that looks like a stem in here? That is actually a taproot. So what happens with the taproots is lateral roots grow off that taproot eventually, and that way the plant is able to get more water and more nutrients that way than just off that taproot. So that's how that works. But the central taproot is going to remain the largest. It's going to burrow down deep in the soil. And if you are guessing that perhaps plants with taproots are the ones that are more drought tolerant, you would be correct, because those taproots burrow down deep in the soil and get as much moisture as they can. Now that situation is a little bit different indoors because you are, as I always say, Mother or Father Nature, so you are going to be the one that's providing that water, not where the plant is going to drill down deep into the soil to get it as it would outdoors. Although if it is a large plant in a large pot, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to drill down deep into that large pot to get whatever moisture it can. So as mentioned, a common taproot plant is the carrot. And so what you're eating when you eat the carrot is a taproot. You're eating a taproot. And you'll see if you've grown carrots that they have little what look like little roots coming out, little fibrous hair-like structures coming out of the side of the carrot. And you, even when you buy them from the store, they'll be like that. And what you end up doing is you usually peel them off or cook them or whatever and eat them. But those are the lateral roots coming out of that taproot. So that is what a taproot is. And some drawbacks, as mentioned, it will drill down, go really go far down into the soil. You have to be, so the only real drawback in terms of repotting is in terms of repotting. So if you want to be you're going to have to be very careful not to damage the taproot when you repot any plants that have a taproot. And you're going to want to need to put it into a pot that is long enough so that the taproot has room to continue to grow downward. So that can become a little bit tricky. Fortunately, most houseplants do not have taproots, so you're not going to be dealing with this too often. However, if you're reading something and you read about taproots, now you know what a taproot is, and you also know that most of your houseplants aren't going to have them. However, if you're growing a cordylan fruticosa glauca, it is going to have a taproot. So you will know what that stem-like protrusion down in the soil is. It is a taproot. So there you go for what is a taproot. And as mentioned, I will be repotting this beautiful plant in another video to show you what I do with that taproot as well, because it is time for this plant to get potted up. That taproot coming out of the bottom was one of the indicators of that. Thank you for stopping by today. Please leave any comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And please check the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos are released.